So I wanted to start off by going through my documentation. I just wanted to set this up as a separate video because my other one was running kind of long. This one will be a lot quicker. Next is going through the documentation. So everything is implemented in here. It has all the files, the class hierarchies. So this is all the class hierarchy stuff. And I want to focus on the modules. So for the documentation, I was having a lot of problems trying to create groups and trying to place them inside of, the different modules. So I had implemented a draw and an update, and it just was not popping. It just has not been popping up, as no matter how many times I delete the HTML files and then I rerun the Doxygen. Same thing with scene. I set up placing inside the scene module for the various managers. So for the texture, the model, the shader, they all were going to be placed in here, but they did not pop up. And luckily, Engine Tools was able to pop up, but I think that was the only thing that really showed and popped up. So here's everything for that. So I'm just going to go in here. This is the modules. So this is for the game object, for the scene, for the tool. As I said, there was other modules that I had implemented, but they just didn't want to pop up or show up. So I'm just going to show off what I have. So here's for the alarm. It has all these functions, and then here's the detailed description of it. It's just getting the object has 3 separate alarms, and then this is just a demo of those alarms. And then other functions that the user is able to access. This collision, so this is just giving a detailed description of what the user has to do in order to set up a collision for the game object. Next is going down here for the keyboard input. So this is for the keyboard input. Again, showing the virtual void for the key press and the key release, getting a detailed description. So this is just some quick demos for that. For the scene, how scene changing would work. So this is how the player would go about changing a scene. So they'd have to call the scene manager and setting the next scene. Scene manager. So these are the various functions that I had other functions added in here other than the get the camera and the get the current scene. I also had where you could set the current scene, but it just was not loading in. Camera manager. This is time manager. Same. I was adding in everything for this as well, and then luckily this was able to be added in for the scene initialize. It's just how you set up the GAM. And then right over here, scene log or screen log. So this is the functions that the screen log is able to use. And then the math tool. So right now it's just the intersect. And yeah, so that's what I have for the documentation. It's not great. There's so much more that I was working on that just wasn't loading in, and it was just falling apart. So I'm just turning in what I have for this. It could be better. So this is something that I will likely work on over break. And yeah, this is the second video that I'm adding to a playlist. It is for the final sprint submission.